Good to see you again, Madam Secretary. We've been here for an hour and 10 minutes. I am going to go as fast as I can, okay? First of all, I hail from D10. I've been a member of the Transportation Committee for 6 years, and I personally voted for HB 1060 at least 6 times under 2 different chairmen. That's Act 89, and I was prime sponsor. And I'm very proud that so many people think so highly of it. It is producing great results for our Commonwealth. And you're absolutely right. Our future success depends on our ability to move our goods to market. And without a solid transportation infrastructure, we just can't do that. Love D10. Those guys are awesome. Next time you come out, please call. I didn't know you were out there. Armstrong, Butler, and Indiana kind of are the heart of D10. I do have a question about future use stipulations within eminent domain proceedings. We are putting up some safety improvements that have taken some private land. It's affecting a couple of my people, actually emergency service providers at a fire hall who had most of their front yard taken. They want to be able to put a sign up out there that's a good 50 to 60 yards off the roadway, but PennDOT's telling them they are reserving that for future use. And nobody wants to tell me what that future use is. So I'd like to talk with you about that later. Second point, I am the chairman of the subcommittee on ports and railroads, and I couldn't agree more with Chairman Keller, Chairman Taylor. The ports of Philly, Pittsburgh, and Erie deserve a much fuller discussion. In fact, we've got something going in Armstrong. As you might know, the Allegheny River bisects us entirely from north to south, and that's one of the rivers that help make up the Ohio when they meet at Pittsburgh. Whether you're aware of this or not, because of Act 89 and because of enabling language we passed earlier under public-private partnerships, there's been a model developed in reopening the river locks on the Allegheny that is now being used as a model for 3 other rivers nationally, working with the Army Corps of Engineers, and we need to talk about that too. Why I'm here really is a question. An integral part of Act 89, and your friend in New Jersey who wants to know how it was passed is going to know how was that done. Dirt and gravel roads and lesser volume roads were an integral part of this equation. I have a question about that in that one of my local township supervisors who works for the Conservation District is on that board. And he brought this to me, and I think I can solve a discussion that's going on right now. Whoever this fella is that's running this board seems to be making a lot of statements about the legislative intent of that part of the bill. I'd like to state for the record that dirt and gravel roads money is going to rural counties that don't have big mass transit systems or interstates or highways or any of that. It's intended to connect our major roadways that are not intended to go into our urban areas through differentials and point scoring systems about what project deserves what. And I'd really like to talk to you about that later. Finally, 5th point, Chairman Keller, Madam Secretary, I am envious that you all can dredge the Delaware for increased port facilities in Philly. I wish we could do that because we have a very special circumstance in that where I live is the gas field. We live in the middle of it. Our pipelines are not done, our reservoirs are full. We cannot get our product to market. Part of this equation to get to Port of Pittsburgh, which will undoubtedly serve as a jumping off point west, much like we did in the colonial times. Pittsburgh was as far west as you could make it. The Allegheny is integral to that plan to be able to move our gas to Pittsburgh. And if I could, we'll put this on the ticket. I'll buy you a cup of coffee or something sometime. And I'm very, very...
Yeah, I'll buy my own cup of coffee, but I'm happy to meet with you.
I'm sorry. Well, you can buy me a cup of coffee. Am I allowed to do that, Chairman? We'll make something happen.
We'll figure it out.
Right, but there's again, I'd like to discuss the 3P model that's being used by Army Corps nationally on 4 rivers across the country based on what we did as a combination of multimodal funding and 3P language. It's really good stuff. Dirt and gravel roads versus lesser volume roads, I think, has to be discussed. And if you want legislative intent, I was the prime sponsor. What do you want to know? Ports and railroads, we have to discuss this. I would love to work with all of you. Chairman Keller and Taylor and I have talked about this already. And finally, big, big, big tip of the hat to PennDOT District 10. Love those guys. You should too. And thank you, Madam Secretary and Mr. Chairman.
I thank you. I want to let you know that I served on my conservation district for 3 years, and I am very familiar with dirt and gravel roads, low volume roads, less than 500 vehicles a day, and they are getting the money they need. Not that they couldn't use more if more was available, but it's a program that I was very happy to see was included in Act 89. So thank you.
What I'm informed is there is a difference in scoring points in what projects are addressed and what are not, and there is a great inequity in how these point values are assigned. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the target of what I want to talk with you about.
I look forward to it.
No coffee. Thank you.
I'll bring my water.